Hello, everyone. I'm here today to speak about the request about an early exclusion and how does it work. So if you don't know what an early exclusion is, we're going to be going over that today on this video. So let's get started. First and foremost, you need to know, or your question may be, what is an early exclusion? An early exclusion is when there's a credit account reporting on your credit report, and you can actually get it removed from the credit bureau several months prior to the official date that the information is actually due to be excluded or removed from your credit file. Okay? So, what an early exclusion is not? Let's talk about that. Now, an early exclusion is not an official policy of the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It is basically a discretion of each credit bureau and how they want to handle it. Now, out of the three credit bureaus, TransUnion seems to be the most flexible with the early exclusion, where Experian and Equifax, you may have to call a few times to get a representative to agree to that early exclusion. Now, what does the early exclusion work for? It will work for charge-offs, and we all know what charge-offs are. A charge-off is the declaration by a creditor, usually a credit card account, that an amount of debt is unlikely to be collected. This usually happens 6 months without payment. So if you go 180 days without making a payment on your credit card, then they will charge that account off, meaning that they have exhausted their attempts to collect on that debt. So they write it off, and then they will note your account as being charged off. An early exclusion will also work for late payments. Okay, so late payments are any accounts that are at least 30 days late or more. Okay, now just like any other account that reports on your credit report, there is a statute of limitations in how long a debt can report on your credit report, as well as there is a statute of limitation for if a creditor or collection company can come after you and sue you. And that varies by state. Another way that this early exclusion will work and what it will work for is collection accounts. And we know that collection, is a type of financial account that's been sent to a third party debt collector. Okay, so if you have any of those, you can try to have them removed in this early exclusion. Now let's look at the two options to get the process started. Your first option in requesting an early exclusion could be, one is to call the credit bureau with your credit report in hand. So make sure you pull your credit report before you get on the phone with a representative at the credit bureaus. And then you need to tell the representative that you would like help in deleting some old trade lines or accounts from your credit report. So basically, you're going to be asking them to remove obsolete items off of your credit report. That's what obsolete is. Sometimes I do use the phrase that we can help you removing accounts that's inaccurate, accounts that are erroneous, or accounts that are obsolete. And this happens to these types of accounts that are about to fall off of your credit report anyway. They're kind of obsolete because they're getting ready to fall off anyway. Um, Now, the second option, you can actually dispute this online. Now, I know I teach don't dispute online, to send letters so that you can have a paper trail and that you will have documentations of your disputes. But however, in this case, and this is one of the exceptions, you can dispute an early exclusion online by choosing the option obsolete or no longer liable for this account. And in addition to adding that comment, you can also add, according to my records, this account is too old to be on my credit report. Okay, so the account is about to fall off anyway, so you might as well try to go ahead and get it off sooner rather than later, especially if you're trying to make a big purchase like a home, get a mortgage loan, or something like that. Now, To call the credit bureaus, these are the numbers to the credit bureaus. TransUnion's number is 800-916-8800, and it may be excluded, this negative trade lines, up to 6 months early. Okay? When you call Experian at 800-493-1058, you may can exclude the trade lines up to 3 months early. And then you have Equifax, 877-784-2528, and it may be excluded up to 1 to 2 months early. Okay, so these are just some general guidelines in the early exclusion for each credit bureau, but it could vary. Okay, just keep that in mind. Now, you're wondering, well, when is this particular trade line or account due to fall off of my credit report? Well, if you've ever disputed anything with the credit bureaus, you know that once you send in your dispute, they have 30 days to investigate and respond to your dispute. And when they respond to your dispute, they will send you a investigation report, okay? And they'll send you a new updated credit report if requested. When you get that investigation report back, it usually looks something like this if the account was not deleted from the credit report. However, if it was deleted from the credit report, then it would just say that the account was deleted. However, some items that you dispute make after their investigation, it may say something like this: we investigated the information you disputed and updated. And then they'll tell you what they updated. In this case, they updated the date, they added some remarks, and they updated the rating. Okay, now all of this other stuff is just, the date that the account was opened, what type of account it was, um, the last payment, the high balance, credit limit, uh, any type of payment status, and the date that the account was actually closed. However, if you look down on the report, and this goes for TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, you can look here, and they'll normally have some remarks. I blotted these out, however, but then it also state the estimated month and year that that account will be removed from your credit report. This one is in uh, I think this one was for 2020 or 2024, 2024. Okay, so this account is not due to fall off until then. So I wouldn't suggest calling the credit bureaus and asking for an early exclusion on this particular account because it's 2020, of course. So it can still remain up on your credit report for 4 more years if it happens to say that it won't be removed to 2024. However, if it's an account that says that it's going to be removed in, let's say, 2020 of December, then using the estimations that we just had over on the other clip here, um, TransUnion is 6 months and Equifax was 3 months, I believe, and Experian may have been, or vice versa, may have been the 1 to 2 months. So then, within that time frame, in that time period, you can go ahead and request an early exclusion. Okay. Now, will this work? Will this work? You're probably asking. Well, these are just estimations based on individual consumers, or even some of my clients that went ahead and I told to go ahead and request an early exclusion by logging into their TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian accounts and to request those. You can also call, like I said, second option was to call the credit bureaus to do this. However, um, your experience, it may vary with each credit bureau, but if one of the representatives tell you no, then just try again. Call back and try again because it could render a very different result because you'll perhaps get a different representative on the phone. So don't give up, okay? So that's what a early exclusion is. You can request an early exclusion. Just make sure that it's not, too far out that you're requesting this because it probably won't work in your favor. However, the closer it gets to the time uh, that account falling off of your credit report or being removed from your credit report, you may want to try this. Um, you know, I want to say 3 to 6 months in. Okay. So I hope that this information has been helpful. If so, please be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Oh, and don't forget to share. Thanks for watching this video. Um, and once again, this is JB Patterson, me. And until our next video, like I said, make sure to subscribe so that you know or you get notification. So you'll have to click the little notification bell so that you're notified when I upload a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.